Metro 2033. Where do I even start, man? Let me see. It's a post-apocalyptic FPS game, which I assume you know that. It's based on a novel with the same name by author Dmitry Gluvitsky. Hope I said that right. If I didn't, my bad. If I'm not Russian. The game was notable for its atmospheric design, survival elements, blah blah blah. It even spawned 2 sequels, all this amazing stuff and whatnot, right? But I don't see it. I never see it get the same love as games like The Last of Us, Resident Evil, and a bunch of other games. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just a me thing. Whatever. This is the story of Metro 2033, one of the most underappreciated survival games of all time.
X-Y's lines and triangles, minds in the sky, trying to find the angle.
Now, despite being relatively new, 4A Games had a little bit of a reputation as a developer. With this and the popularity of like the survival horror genre around this time, you gotta like think this was what I want to say late 2000s, early 2010s. Zombie, like, you know, this kind of stuff was popular. Add a little bit of cloud from the novel, and you have a perfect storm for hype. This game had everything it needed, dog, to give the player a thoughtful experience compared to other games that were released around this time. The novel, like, really gave the devs a lot to work with. They had framework, a fantastic setting, plot, ill-casted characters to work with, and so much more. Of course, not everything made it into the game. That would be impossible. This is a video game. It is a different medium and it has its own rules, but they were still able to capture the atmosphere and the spirit of the book. I don't think there was any pressure to follow trends that were going on at the time. For example, like, they didn't add multiplayer, which some people might see as a bad idea because of replayability and all that, right? Instead, they put more effort into adding detail to the single player experience. They didn't just add things for the sake of it. They were able to achieve a nice balance and variety when it comes to pacing and all that. They included a lot of like non-combat passages from the book to really like emphasize and like drive home exploration and discovery and things of that nature. You could tell they just wanted to make another shooter, you know, and it paid off, man. Fans really appreciated like the detailed and immersive depiction of like the post-apocalyptic Moscow metro system. The really like atmospheric game design and sound, environmental storytelling really stood out, man. I mean, fans loved it, of course. I think it did decently critically and stuff like that, but how did the author feel about it? Being a gamer himself, he was happy that his book was getting adapted. Plus, the game would introduce a lot of people to his story and get younger people into reading, so it's a win-win for everyone involved. Shouts out to 4A Games, man. They were really able to create one of the most believable and oppressive post-apocalyptic worlds ever, and I mean oppressive in a good way.
I'm not a criminal. Whoa, that makes me sound more like a criminal, doesn't it?
So after the world had a taste of Metro 2033's unique world, atmosphere, setting, all that, fans were itching for a sequel. So the team got the work, you feel me? Development started around, I wanna say 2011. And look, Metro was great. It's a cult classic and everything. With that being said, there was room for improvement, you know what I'm saying? And the team wanted more. So the idea was to build upon the original strengths and address some of its criticism they got through, you know, feedback and all that. They had a new engine. It's not a new engine. They had a new version of the same engine, the 4A Games version. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Better graphics, lighting, physics, all that, which resulted in a more polished and refined product compared to its older brother. Things weren't easy though, to be honest with you. The development process was harder than it needed to be because of the political and economic situation in the Ukraine. I can only speculate because I wasn't there, but I feel like it's safe to say 4A Games didn't have the best resources or working conditions. So they must have really cared about this little project of theirs to push through and deliver despite the circumstances. Metro was officially announced in 2011, and as the release date approached, the game was showcased at like various events, and they, you know what I'm saying, got some buzz, you feel me, for its improved graphics, engaging storyline, all that. They finally dropped the game 2013, May 14th. It was set in the aftermath of the nuclear war where survivors live in the underground metro system. You feel me? It continued the story from the previous game, Metro 2033, focusing on Earthtombs. I don't know if I said it right. His quest to deal with the remnants of the Dark Ones and various factions trying to fight for control in the Metro system. You know how it goes. And they did a really good job at combining realistic elements with dark dystopian themes. The original author of the novel actually contributed to the story, which helped expand the narrative and deepen the game's lore and all that. Unlike in the first game where, you know, they just adapted his novel, this time there was no novel to adapt. His fingerprints were needed on this one. And I feel like the game turned out better because of it. People loved it, bro. It was well received for the same reasons as the first game, you know, setting, story, atmosphere and all that, as well as some of its improvements. It even received a couple of nominations. I don't know if it won anything.
Who cares?
They were able to take something great, man, and improve on it. Improve on the gameplay, story, depth, atmosphere, design, all that. And that gave us one of the most significant single player games in the first person shooter and survival horror genre. Can't say that about a lot of games nowadays. So they started working on Metro Exodus sometime after Metro Last Light was released, and the team wanted to expand the game's world and like its narrative and stuff, right? 4A Games always had a chip on my shoulder. Like, I don't know, deep down I feel like they wanted to prove they deserved a spot in the AAA conversation, and maybe like even above it. So how do they accomplish this? They went open world. I mean, technically it's like semi-open world or whatever, but this decision is what pushed everything forward, allowing for exploration and more opportunity for like broader storytelling. The game was set in a post-apocalyptic Russia, as you know, where players control Artyom, as you know, who escapes the Metro system and journeys across a devastated landscape or whatever. This Metro Exodus, I don't know what you want me to like. You know, man. You feel me? Like, you already know what's up, like story wise. You know, these themes of like hope and survival, consequences of humanity's choices. You already know. Like, you know, man. Players navigate through various environments, from desolate cities to like lush forests, encountering different factions and mutated creatures. The good stuff, man. Metro at its finest. And people really appreciated its character development and the weight of its narrative. All this like contributed to like its status in the survival horror genre and all that. You feel me? The blend of survival mechanics, stealth, combat really emphasized resource management. And it made you felt like it made it more immersive, because you really get to feel like you're there a little bit more. You've really got a good sense. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. What else did I write here? Oh, for the first time, players could craft items, and yeah, I'm talking about like stuff like that. You know, you really felt like you were there and you had to survive, and there was a whole day and night cycle, dynamic weather. All that really made you feel like it emphasized survival in this post-apocalyptic setting. The game was officially it was officially revealed in E3 2017, generated a lot of excitement. The ambitious vision really got fans hyped, and also fans were hyped because of the two previous games, and they also were anticipating, you know, exploration of like new themes, character development, and all that. The narrative was expanded to include new characters, factions, with player choices that would actually impact the direction of the story. The team also invested in like high quality voice acting and motion capture. A lot of playtesting also went into this, because, you know, it's it's like open world. They had to, you know, for things to work right, they really had to do a lot of like intense playtesting, and they had to iron out all the stuff, refine mechanics, and like give the players like a polished, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's really it. The game did well. It's probably like the most popular Metro game out of all of them. Yeah, man, let me know what you think in the comment section below. While you're down there, subscribe if you want to see more videos. I don't know, whatever. Intro song is in the description as always, and I'll see you, Space Cowboy. Peace.